guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be taking a closer look at the spelling and high frequency words for Unit 6, Week 1. Most of the words this week are going to have the long I sound. The long I sound is I. We are also going to have two high frequency words that do not have the long I sound. The first high frequency word is after. And after is the opposite or antonym of before, and it describes when something happens. So I'm going to pull up our schedule for distance learning, and let's use it to learn what the word after means. So our morning starts at 9 o'clock and we have our morning meeting. We look at the calendar, we sing some songs, and if I have any announcements to make, I make those announcements. After that, we have the virtual math classroom where you work on your math facts and you watch the math video with my sister. After that, there's a small math group where I meet with a few of you and we practice some problems together. After that, we have recess. After that, we have English language development, or ELD. After that, there's a small reading group. After that, you're in your virtual ELA and ELD classrooms. After, there's lunch. After, there's a read aloud and a shared writing assignment. After that, there's a recess. After that, you have your virtual social studies and science classrooms. And after that, you have your virtual PE classroom. So after refers to when an event takes place. And I had said that before is the antonym or opposite. So if I wanted to work backward, I would say social studies and science are before PE. And recess is before social studies and science. And the read aloud and the shared writing happen before the recess. And so on and so forth. So those words after and before help us to determine when events take place. The second high frequency word this week is call. And a call could mean that you call someone using a phone and you have a conversation with that person. Call can also be something that you do in person when you say someone's name to get their attention. So if you were on the playground and you wanted to get your friend's attention, you might call their name. When people want their pet to come to them, they will call the pet's name. And I decided to see what would happen if I called each of my pets. So I'll go ahead and play those clips now. What would happen if I called Alice? And what would happen if I called Hoppy? We're gonna find out what happens when I call Alice. Alice! Alice knows her name. Alice knows what good baby you are. Hoppy! 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 What a bad rabbit. Oh, there we go. She was just having a delayed reaction. Good Hoppy. Our first spelling word that does have that long I sound is bike. Bike is short for bicycle, and I'll go ahead and show you a picture. I think this is the type of bike that most of us are used to seeing. It has two wheels, handlebars, and a seat. But I also had to include a picture of this bike because this bike is so cute. I just had to include that. Bike is the kind of word that can be both a noun as well as a verb. So for example, the bikes that I showed to you, those are nouns because they're things. But I can also use the word bike as a verb. I can say I bike to school or I bike to the store. And that is the act of riding a bicycle. The next spelling word we have is line. And I'm going to show you a photograph of some students and they are standing in a line. That's one student right next to or behind the other. And a line is a way to keep things organized and orderly. So for example, when you're checking out at the grocery store, you don't push people out of the way to get to the cashier first. You wait for your turn in line. You are patient. The same thing at the bank. The same thing at school when we have a fire drill. We don't want everybody rushing and running and pushing and shoving to get out. We want to be organized and orderly. So we walk out of the school in a line. The next word we have is mine. And this word can have two different meanings. First, the word mine can describe objects that belong to you. So for example, this marker is mine. It belongs to me. But a mine can also be a place. For example, if you've seen the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the dwarves work in a mine. It's a place underground, and in that particular movie, the workers are digging for gems. They are mining gems. Other things you can dig for in a mine include coal and steel. The next spelling word we have is nice. And there's that soft C that we learned about last week, making the sound of an S. I would say nice is a synonym for kind. And so I'm gonna show some pictures of kids who are behaving in a nice way. Taking turns, sharing. They're not shouting or yelling at each other. They are being nice. The next word that I have is ride. And we had the word bike earlier. You can ride a bike. You can also ride a train. You can ride in a car. You can even ride animals. For example, you can ride a horse. You can ride a camel. You can ride an elephant. If you are taking a ride, what that means is you're sitting in one place, but you're on either a machine or an animal that is moving you forward. So that's what it means to ride. It means you're going somewhere, but usually you're sitting still and it's the machine or it's the animal that is moving you from one location to the next. The next spelling word that we have is slice, and this is another word that can be a noun or a verb. When you cut something into pieces, like an apple, you slice the apple. Additionally, each piece of the apple afterward is called a slice. So I might say, I'm going to eat a slice of this apple. You can slice more than an apple. You can have a slice of pie. Or you can have a slice of pizza. You can have a slice of bread. It's basically anything that you are cutting into pieces. The next word that I have is time. And time is how we keep track of our day, how we organize things. Earlier, I had shown you our schedule for distance learning. I'm gonna put that back up on the screen. And what you see along the left-hand side of the page is the time that each activity takes place. So if you wanted to know when the morning meeting happens, what time is that? It happens from 9 o'clock to 9:15. If you wanted to know what time ELD is, here's ELD. The time is from 10:30 to 11 o'clock. And the way that you would know, well, when is it 9, when is it 10:30, you would look at a clock. A clock is the instrument that helps us to tell time. And there are analog clocks where you have to look at the hours and the minutes hands. And there are also digital clocks where it's a bit easier and you just read the numbers that are on the screen. But clock is a tool that helps us to tell time. And time is how we organize our days, our weeks, our months. It's how we keep track of things. The last spelling word I'm going to add to my list is white. And white is the color of this paper. The antonym or opposite of white is black. And that's the color of the marker, the ink in the marker that I've been using. And I thought this would be an easy one to demonstrate to you because both of my pet rabbits that I was calling earlier are black and white. They have black and white furs. So this is Hoppy, and I've used the arrows to show you the parts of her fur that are black and the parts of her fur that are white. And I've done the same thing with Alice. There are arrows to show which parts of her fur are black and which parts of her fur are, again, our spelling word this week, white. At this point, I am going to play for you a video. You'll see different photographs and video clips, and you'll have about 8 seconds to guess what spelling word I'm showing to you. After 8 seconds, the correct spelling word will appear in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and I'll say the correct spelling word aloud so that you can hear it. Good luck guessing all of your spelling words. Ride. Nice. Mine. Call. Bike and ride. Time. White. Slice. Hoppy, I got persimmon. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned more about the different spelling and high frequency words. That is all that I have for you today, but I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.